Much of Europe now appears to be heading into a recession caused by a chronic lack of confidence in the ability of countries to deal with their debts. We will do whatever it takes to protect Britain from this debt storm while doing all we can to build the foundations of future growth. The central forecast we published today from the Independent Office for Budget Responsibility does not predict a recession here in Britain. But they have unsurprisingly revised down their short-term growth prospects for our country, for Europe and for the world. But if the rest of Europe heads into recession, it may prove hard to avoid one here in the UK. For some workforces, the two-year pay freeze will be coming to an end next spring, and for most during 2013. In the current circumstances, the country cannot afford the 2% rise assumed by some government departments thereafter. So instead, we will set public sector pay awards at an average of 1% for each of the 2 years after the pay freeze ends. The deal we offer on public sector pensions is also fair to both taxpayers and public servants. The basic state pension will next April rise by £5.30 to £107.45, the largest ever cash rise in the basic state pension, with the offer of private sector work experience for every young person unemployed for 3 months. After 5 months, there will be weekly signing on. After 9 months, we will help pay for a job or an apprenticeship in a private business. Some 200,000 people will be helped in this way. I'm providing an extra £1.2 billion as part of the additional investment in infrastructure to spend on our schools. I can tell the House today that we can double the number of children who will receive this free nursery care. 40% of 2-year-olds, 260,000 children from the most disadvantaged families will get this support in the early years. And we are going to reinvigorate the right to buy. This was one of the greatest social policies of all time. We will bring it back to life. Families in social housing will be able to buy their own homes at a discount of up to 50%, and we will use the receipts to build for every home purchased a new additional affordable home as well. We've introduced a permanent bank levy to make sure the banks pay their fair share. I've always said that we wish to raise £2.5 billion each and every year from this levy. To ensure we do that, I need to raise the rate of the levy to 0.088%. Train fares are expensive and they're set to go up well above inflation to pay for the much-needed investment in the new rail and new trains we need. But RPI plus 3% is too much. The government will fund a reduction in the increase to RPI plus 1%. Despite all the constraints that are upon us, we are able to cancel the fuel duty increase planned for January and for the fuel duty from August to be only 3 pence higher than it is now. People know that the promises of quick fixes and more spending this country can't afford at times like this are like the promises of a quack doctor selling a miracle cure. We do not offer that today. What we offer is a government that has a plan to deal with our nation's debts to keep interest rates low. A government determined to support businesses and support jobs. A government committed to take Britain safely through the storm. Leadership for tough times. That's what we offer, and I commend this statement to the House.